What's up guys, welcome back to TJTV, and we've got another exciting episode of the Bargain Basement, and today we're going to be looking at all the SIRs from Scarlet and Violet and see which ones I think are an absolute steal, considering that a lot of these things, if you're chasing the individual cards out of packs, would cost you about $1,000. So let's get into this and see what we're looking at. Right, so let's get straight into this. My first pick of the day, and it is from Scarlet and Violet base set, and we're looking at Spidops. And this is an absolute stunner, and over the year it's done, you know, it was settled at that kind of $2, did go all the way up to sort of $8, and now it's coming back down and it's sitting at $4.90. There are only, how many have we got listed? There's only 1, 2, 3, there's only about 6 listed there, so there's not many actually listed, but yeah, absolute bargain considering, you know, on average you're talking about 300 packs to actually pull an individual sort of card. The next one we're going to be looking at is the Cryodon EX from Scarlet and Violet base, and this is sitting at the $17. Again, I think this has been pretty steady. Did go to a low of sort of $9, a high of $20, and it's come back down to about $14.93. Again, absolute stunning card, and considering how difficult it is to pull these cards, I think it's an absolute bargain. Next card we're going to be looking at is from Paldea Evolve, the Quaxvol EX, and this is sitting at 14, and this I think is an absolute stunning card. One of the best cards of Paldea Evolved. It's had a bit of a run up over the years, and I think this is general, bit of a buyout here, but I think it's generally organic growth, dropped back down, and it's sitting at that $11 kind of mark, which is absolute bargain. And there's quite a few listed. There's 6 listed on there, going from 12, 11, near mint condition. So yeah, I think that's an absolute steal. Remember, always bearing in mind how many cards it actually costs to pull these. So we're looking at Paldea Evolved again, and it's the Tinglu EX, and this is had a bit of a spike there to 15. It's calmed down a bit now, come back to that sort of that median level here at $9.28. But yeah, another absolute stunning card. I mean, look at that artwork, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And to be fair, I think it's quite a good playable card as well for your deck. Next one we're looking at is a Grusher, the trainer card, and I think this is one of the nicest trainer cards out there, especially like winter time. It's really, really lovely. Loveless to have this in my collection. I haven't got it in my collection, but I would like to get it if I ever find it. And I think, you know, this is pretty standard kind of growth, growing organically, not getting pumped. And it's sitting at $14.93, $15, call it. But yeah, absolute stunner. Next one we're looking at is the Execute EX from Obsidian Flames. A lot of these Obsidian Flames cards actually are quite low, to be fair, but I think this is a very, very unique card. I mean, you're looking at what, and it's got the penguin in there with the Execute on top, which is brilliant, to be fair. Very plain, you know, the Pokemon stands out there, and this absolutely stunning. It's had a bit of a run up here, going all the way up to $6. Nothing crazy though, you know, it's $2 up to $6, come back down a bit, and it's settling at that sort of $5 range. So yeah, looking great, looks stunning card. And again, you know, you're talking 300 plus packs to rip to get this. This is, I think, one of the most underrated cards, undervalued cards. Again, I haven't got this in my collection, and this isn't financial advice as always. This is just my opinion. Absolutely stunning card. The colours, the illustration. To be fair, I think this is probably more at home in Paradox Rift. I mean, it's a bit of a crazy card for Obsidian Flames. I think it looks more like sort of Paradox Rift style. But yeah, stunning, very steady. Jumped up to what, $4, come back to $6, $3.64. Again, what, 6, 7 of them listed. But it's had a good run. But for $4.19, wow, absolute steal. Next one, another stunning card from Obsidian Flames, the legendary Pidgeot EX. And again, it's sitting at that $12. Very steady, very, you know, I think it's a solid card, holding its price very solidly, going back down to that $12 range. And it's kind of been there all year, to be quite frank. But yeah, this and the other two cards that come with it, the other line, is absolutely amazing. So you got the Pidgey and the Pidgeotto. So stunning cards, well worth in anybody's collection. I do actually have this card, so that's pretty cool. Another, I think, undervalued, or is it? Yeah, definitely undervalued at that $12. Come back down to $8.62. The Sandy Shocks EX from Paradox Rift. Now I think that the Rev Room and the Sandy Shocks are in the wrong sets, to be quite frank. This belongs in Obsidian Flames, and the Rev Room belongs in Paradox Rift, but you know, who am I to decide that? And then another stunning, this is classic Paradox Rift kind of artwork, the Tapu Koko EX, and this is sitting at that $15 kind of range. And again, had a bit of a run up here from $10, hit that 17, come back down, back up again, back down again. So I'd say it was pretty steady. What are we talking, like 24, 35, 34? Did have that big jump, that buyout of 114 bought there. But yeah, the usual sort of between, I don't know, 40 and 80 sort of bought on a weekly basis. Nothing too crazy. Another stunning, I think very unique trainer supporter card is the Salvatore from Temporal Forces. Stunning card. I think $11.97. Did come down to that $9. Started off quite 18. So really, alright, you could say that it lost 50% of its value at one point, then jumped back up, come back down, sitting at that $12 range. I think this is an absolute stunning card. One of the nicest trainers cards out there. Very unique artwork, to be quite frank. Next one we're looking at is another very cartoony kind of illustration, is Lana's Aid from Twilight Masquerade. And this had a bit of a pump here, 34, and then people have fallen out of love with the trainer cards. Do not know why. It's dropping down to that 24 kind of mark. But again, you know, Twilight Masquerade, to actually pull this card, what are you talking? 3, 4, 500 packs to get this specific card, and you're picking it up for $22. It's an absolute steal. It cost you well over $1,000 to pull that, well over. And the Sinistacha, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Sinistacha EX, which is quite cool. It's the stage 1, the evolution from the Poltergeist. Really nice card, quite cool, to be fair. And again, started really high up, drop, a little bit of a boost, and dropped again, and it's settled at this kind of range here between sort of $18, $30. It's sitting there, and it's sitting at $19.47 now. So another one, if you can pick that up, absolute bargain. And now we're on to Stellar Crown, where I think some of the most undervalued special illustration rares are. You've got the Gigantula EX. Absolutely crazy. I mean, look at this charge web. So you've got 110 plus, if your opponent's active Pokemon is an EX or a Pokemon V, this attack does 110 more. And all you need is one lightning and one any energy you want. Now I think this is an absolute card of the future, card for your decks. And then you've got the other one, you need a leaf, an energy and a fighting, so that's a bit difficult. But it's discard all the energy from this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn if they can't play an item card from their hand. So that's pretty, don't know if I'd go for that, but you know, you get them 2 energy cards on there, you get that charged web, boom. I think it's stunning. That's 220 off a hit, especially up against the EX and the V cards, and that's sitting, that's dropped crazy. From $52 all the way down to $18, call it $19. There's 6 listings, and they're all at 20, 18, 20. Cheapest one's 18, highest is 29. Available from CCG Player Direct, which is pretty cool. But yeah, absolutely massively undervalued card, and I think, you know, you could build a deck around this. Absolutely awesome card. Next is one of the cheapest, biggest chases. I think the next cheapest, biggest chase is the Charizard from Obsidian Flames. But yeah, the Terapagos EX Stellar Crown, and this had a high starter. It was at the $150, right back down, so it's lost like $100 worth of value. And I know Stellar Crown's a small set. I've never pulled this card, and I've opened, I wouldn't say a massive amount of Stellar Crown, but I've opened quite a bit of it, and I've never pulled this card. And I think, and to be fair, I've never actually seen it for sale in my local TCG shop, which is Gecko's in Wrexham. So if you're ever in Wrexham, go check out Gecko's. Awesome shop. So yeah, and I've never seen it for sale there. Absolutely. And I wasn't a massive fan of it, but I've started to warm to the whole sort of gemstone, infinity stone kind of vibe to it, to be quite frank. So yeah, absolutely big fan of this card now. And I think when Stellar Crown gets restocked, and it will get reprinted and restocked, I will be chasing it. And then we move on to Surging Sparks. We got the Durant, and then it's sitting at that $26. It started off, so this has had quite a good spell. So if you had this when it first came out, $19, shot up 30, what was that, 39, come down a bit, and it's dropped off a bit of love, but it started to, you know, level off around here. $26, and what's the average pull rate if for a special illustration rares? It's something like 1 in 4, 500 packs, something like that. So you're talking a lot of money, especially at today's prices, to try and actually pull this Durant EX. So I think it's well worth it and deserves its place in the bargain basement. And then we're moving on to Surging Sparks, because there's not actually that many cheap special illustration rares. We got the Clemence Quick Wit, which is I think a very unique kind of trainer's artwork. I love it, to be quite frank, and he stands out massively. And this, whatever the heck he's working on here, what's it look like? A bit of like a Hoover. But this started off at like 18, so it's never been massive. Jumped back up to 20, straight back down, and it's sitting at $13. So it's an absolute steal if you can pick it up. And last but not least is Drayton. Now this is a very interesting one. I think this is a absolutely lovely card. He's just getting his snacks, which is pretty cool. And this has had a quite good growth actually. So it started off at $11, so underappreciated when it first came out. People have obviously noticed this, started to appreciate it, and it's starting to jump up a bit now. And it's sitting there. It's had about 18% growth, which is, it's not massive. Not many of them sold. 4, 5, 8. How many are listed? Looking at 4 listings. Highest 22, cheapest $14.99. So your average is about your 16, like it says there, or $13.90 here. But yeah, absolutely, and it's not selling massively. But I think this is one of the most underappreciated trainer cards. So yeah, that is it, guys. So yeah, and if anybody wants to leave any comments in the comments section, let me know what kind of secret illustration rares you think there should be in there. Till the next video, guys, catch you later. Remember to like this.